So I think it was last spring, right? It was the first spring that kids were able to come back to the building.
Right.
You know, from March 2020 onwards until last February, kids were completely virtual.
Right.
So, like, some kids had the option to come back if they wanted to in February, and then state testing was, like, in May, right? So we'd only been back for a couple months. My kids, like, all of my classes were still online, but I was still proctoring tests for the in-person kids. So, you know, because we just got back to the building, admin was super big on masks. Like, the kids have to wear them. If you don't enforce it, like, that's your head. Like, we're not going down and going to get in trouble because you don't want to enforce these rules. Like, they really drilled it into us. They kind of scared us about it a little bit. Because we can just make
kids do everything all the time.
Right, like,
I don't know why
they're
people think we could do that.
right? Like, they're going to listen.
Not even my 10-year-olds. Like, people think we can just force kids to do whatever we want.
So I was proctoring for a bunch of random kids. Like, I'd never met them before. I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
And then we had, like, a testing number to call if anything went wrong. And so during this test, and it was like 3 or 4 hours.
Like the state or like your principal?
No, like our testing
coordinator.
Okay.
So I had 3 kids in a total. I think I had 18 kids in the room. 3 of them just wouldn't keep the dang thing on. It kept coming completely off, like not even just below their nose, just
pops off their head.
off. And I went up to all of them. I was like, "Hey," they said, "this could count as a misadministration if you don't put it on. Like, I
test
need
could
you."
count as a misadministration,
Right? Like they might have to leave and come back and take it, or
because
something
they wouldn't
like
keep
that.
their mask on.
Yes, because they weren't allowed to be there in the room.
North Carolina sounds fun.
Y'all be tripping, man. They ain't never coming to North
That was
Carolina.
maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. They made it seem like the kids would have to leave, and then they would have to come back and take it. But I was like, y'all, like, you have
be
to
on
keep
some
it on.
foolishness.
We're all gonna get in trouble. Like, please, it's just a couple hours.
Right.
You've been doing this since February.
Right.
Wouldn't do it. Like, literally every 5 minutes, these 3 kids kept just pulling them off. So I called down to testing center. They were like, "Oh, well, there's nothing you can do." Well, okay, as long as you have it documented that, like,
I
I'm
called
trying.
you and told you.
I got reprimanded by my admin, who was walking by and was like, "I see you have multiple kids that don't have on a mask." I said, "I've called down to the test site at least 3 times for 3 different kids saying I just want it documented that I'm trying."
Admin be worried about everything except for what they need to be worried about.
Right. And I'm like, I've clearly tried. Well, you didn't try hard enough.
Sir, would you like me to staple it to their head?
Like, I don't.
What do you want me to do?
That be when I be about. That's when I'm about to get a write up.